Good afternoon, my friends. We are here today for our third episode of the Salty Trio. It's an honor to be amongst friends today for a very interesting and very challenging topic in our industry. Today, we will be discussing and sharing our thoughts on the leadership and the difference between at sea and in the boardrooms. We know that in our industry, it's very common. People from sea, seafarers, very often become leaders in shipping companies. So today, I would like to discuss with you what is the difference between being a leader on board a ship vs being a leader in a boardroom. We will be discussing also if there is a difference or it's the same responsibility in a boardroom, but expressed in different layers and different altitudes. Today with me, dear friends, I have my co-host, as always, Captain Panos. Captain, thank you very much again for being next to me and for your support.
It's a pleasure. Petros, thank you very much for organizing this third episode. But I'm more pleased because we have with us a very good friend, a professional, a colleague who has actually demonstrated what we are doing today, moved to the higher ranking of a very reputable organization here in Greece. So let me introduce our guest today, Mr. Stavros Meidanis.
Thank you.
Welcome, Stavros, to our podcast.
Thank you, both of you. And
it's an honor to have you here.
It's my honor to be with you. And most important thing is, as you said, both of you, I'm amongst friends. So we know each other for so many years. We share a lot of good times, but also difficult times, I would say. So I think it would be challenging one.
We have prepared for you this nice scenery, red scenery for you, especially for you.
Thank you.
Today.
Appreciate. Thank you.
And we wish you good luck.
Thank you.
Later today.
Thank you.
In the first match. So I'd like to start with the first question. So we start sharing our thoughts. What is the biggest challenge when the shift from leadership at sea and people join boardrooms to act as leaders there is the biggest challenge? What is your opinion?
Yeah, what we see, first of all, but also what is a common, I would say, trap, is that, the environment on board the vessel is totally different environment in a shipping company. On board the vessel, and Captain Panos, he has a very huge experience on board. As a captain, you have to deal with 20, 22, 23 persons on board, each one well-trained, know his, her duties, roles and responsibilities, working directly for one scope, under one command. The job should be done on the spot. When you are moving to a shipping company, it's totally different. We are talking about different processes, different procedures, other regulations, human factor with a different perspective from what we have on board the vessel. So it's difficult. It's different. Difficult, maybe. Different for sure. Decision-making process, which is very, very important. We have the leader on board the vessel. It's not working like that within the company. You have to deal with people management, which is not always the easy part. So this is one of the biggest challenges I can see, and the difference between ship and shore approach.
I agree totally, Stavros. Indeed, the transition from an on-board leader position, let's say, or a senior management position to a an Azure senior management position, it's not easy. It's very difficult. A lot of people crash. We have seen people going Azure and crash and say, "Oh, I'm going
From
back
the
to C."
pressure.
But my personal experience is that the character of and the virtues of leadership remain the same. How we define leadership, the virtues of leadership remain the same.
You mean the quality of the quality of the leader?
Yes, the
The
virtues.
qualities behind.
Correct,
the leader.
correct,
No.
correct. For example, I will give a parallel example, very, very rough. A Cessna or a Piper Cub, these small planes, they follow the same aerodynamic rules and they fly, they take off, they land and so on. A Jumbo 747 uses the same aerodynamic laws to take off and land and so on. But the difference in actually being able to fly a Cessna or 747, it's huge.
And also,
Sometimes
the responsibility is
the responsibility is different.
because you have 300 people.
Exactly. Sometimes, though, I'm not saying that the 747 Jumbo is the sure job always, because sometimes the difficulties can be more on board rather than ashore. And the parameter that goes there is the distance from the actual risk that is faced at that time. Bad weather, I'm there, I'm rocking together with the vessel. Bad weather ashore is a different complex system, consumption, delays, ETAs, risks, damages, letter of protest, completely different, but the risk is not there. It's not something that actually I can feel under my legs. So this is a crucial difference there. What it is vital and useful is that the people who come from the sea or the people who have actually seaboard experience generally, shipyards, surveys and so on, what they bring on in the boardroom is the understanding of the risk, the context of the risk, and they understand and they feel it. But when I raise a scaffolding and when I have to inspect this area, these are the risks that the people should face. And it's not, and you are in the boardroom and you actually visualize and say, oh, yes, it's not easy to be 30 meters up and hanging and realize the risk there. So, and recently I have seen in the news and I follow up that there are courses now designed to help people to do this transition. And I think it's a very, very good initiative, something that we should adopt also in our organization, in our company, to help people with structured steps to be able to move from senior on board positions to junior and then senior positions ashore. It takes planning and should be structured. Yeah.
Stavros, since you are the managing director of a very reputable company, my question would be, would you feel better if you had someone next to you to guide you when you were climbing the ladder in the hierarchy of the company? Would that be something that it would be helpful for you in the decision making, perhaps? Because as you climb the ladder, you have to take different decisions that will affect more people, perhaps.
Difficult decisions.
Changes in the policies of the company that will affect others in the future, because it's not only now, but also you drive the future of the company with your own decisions. What do you think?
I think this, I don't want to say mandatory, but it's a necessity. I mean, it's not a matter of handover, but it's a matter of mentoring during climbing and it's not happening, only to the senior positions, to director's position. No? It's happening to all positions within a company. But let's focus on our sector in the shipping company. You need time, you need experience, you need to face and deal with difficult situations.
So you adapt.
In order to start thinking with a different way. I believe that what is characterized our sector is to try to think out of the box within the procedural and regulatory environment, but out of the box. And this is the key I believe. So, in order to come back, yes, it should be done by this way, because, as you said, and you have to take sometimes decisions on the spot that may affect the fleet, the investors, the people on board, or even the people in the company. So, okay, the big companies, I mean, listed or big groups, there's a lot of BOD members. It's not, but at the end of the day, you still have the decision and the responsibility of your decision. So at least you have to take into consideration the majority of the parameters that you can identify in order to, and I think that this is one of the main differences of what we are doing on board the vessel and what we are doing when we are in the shipping ashore. I mean, you have to take a decision. You have a situation. You are the master of the vessel. You are the chief engineer of the vessel. I'm talking about the top two. On the spot, you have 5 minutes, 10 minutes to do. You don't expect someone to guide you. You have to turn the vessel because you have a rough weather, or you have something that you have to avoid. You need to avoid in front of you. You don't expect something. You know what you have to do. Decision within the 5 minutes. Here, I mean, ashore, we're not talking about decision of 5 or 10 minutes. We're talking about decision for 5 or 10 years. Or you have to justify a recommendation to the principal for 5 or 10 years ahead, based on your analysis, your experience, your sources. So it's tough, I would say, and the responsibility remains there always.
I think also it is. I think everyone looking back will recognize and say, this person, this individual helped me. Or the other individual helped me by giving me a negative prototype. Or this individual helped me by giving me a positive figure to follow. So we should have our eyes open and get the feedback. Not the feedback. Understand how things are done and get good examples. I have to thank many people who have helped me. Some people helped me to understand.
In your career?
In my career. Some people helped me to understand a P&L account. Okay. Some people helped me to make a proper budget. Some people helped me to do a proper procedure. Some people helped me not to shout because, coming from sea to shore, okay, you cannot shout. I mean, this is, or you cannot use so much cosmetic
French word.
adjectives. Yeah. So this is something that people teach us, not directly. Sometimes sit down now, Stavros, and I will tell you how to, but indirectly in a dinner or in a lunch time or in a walk or in a trip. Sometimes I had very, very useful discussions in planes with colleagues, more experienced than me and years around. Now we're going to Asia, Panos, first time in Asia. This is how you hand over your card. This is how you deal with that. This is how you do that. And all these things.
Small things that,
And I'm extremely thankful to several people who have helped me in different areas on how to be able to shape up my way of thinking and try to improve and do my things. And I think all of us.
Fully agree 100%, 1000% actually. Personally, I have to thank many people, and I still, because sometimes you can be taught by silent.
Yes,
sometimes,
yes.
Because
how true? Yes, very good.
I said mentoring earlier. I mean, it's mentor. At the end of the day, it's a human being with his or her own way of thinking, way of doing things, way of decide or teach. So yes, positive and negative. At the end of the day, this is
how we learn.
It's how we learn. This is a learning curve. From one hand, or the other hand is how you collect experiences. And I believe that, and the most important thing from this discussion, I believe, at the end of the day, is not only to present, but also to give a message, maybe, to the next generation, which is right now aboard the vessels, regardless of the rank I'm talking about. And they have a dream to go back to the office. I mean, it's very, very important that they have to deal with difficulties on board, difficulties ashore, and steadily to collect experiences and create their own character. I mean, this is, sometimes I think in our companies and in our professional life, initially, but it's not only this. I think in our non-professional life, this is what happened. What we are doing, we collect experiences from several situations.
Several sources, several situations.
And you have to take decisions at the office maybe every 5 minutes sometimes, especially when you get calls from ships and you have to guide them.
You have to say yes or no.
Yes. You have to be very clear.
On the spot.
Your instructions must be clear.
My engine will have one cylinder malfunctioning and pilot is coming on board in 30 minutes.
Yes.
Should I proceed or not?
So how guys?
Yes or no?
This decision can cost millions.
Can cost millions,
exactly.
Of course. Yeah.
There is a famous phrase. They call it analysis paralysis. This is what means. It means that sometimes we overanalyze things, and this sometimes create delays, and then we lose the momentum or the right moment to take the right decision. How do you cope with that in your companies? Because I'm sure that sometimes analysis is necessary, but there is no time, or the time is very limited, and you have to take a decision which must be the right one. So how do you deal that? I mean, let's start with Stavros.
I would say it depends. I cannot say black or white, yes or no. It depends. It's not, the politically, try to avoid. It depends what kind of decision you have to take. I mean, if it's a strategic decision with a lot of issues involved, money, investment, reputation, a major change.
Lives, sometimes.
Well, of course.
For sure. You cannot take the decision, without analysis, sometimes with several meetings and analysis, without go to paralysis, of course. On the other hand, one of the main characteristics, I believe, correct both of you if I'm wrong, and the success
of Greek shipping
is that we take the decisions very, very
quickly.
Very quickly. So, okay, we have to take into consideration. It depends on the case. We have to move forward. Otherwise, we run after our tail. So it's not working like that. We don't have the luxury to do that.
Stavros, as I understand, says that when things get tough, we have to take decisions. So
And responsibility.
So what is your opinion, Panos? When things get tough, leadership becomes more centralized. So it means that it's revolving around a very small team, maybe experts or the right decision makers or the most senior guys in the company, or it becomes more distributed because we have to have different opinions on the matter, and then we take the decision. What do you think?
I have
or you have examples from both cases?
Seen, because I have worked in third-party management, I have worked in smaller startups, Greek shipping companies. I have worked in huge organizations like American Bureau of Shipping, and currently I work in, I think, the biggest Greek ship management group. First of all, I have to say I agree totally with Stavros on the way that the relationship between ownership and management in Greece allows far quicker decisions than any other third-party management organization.
Which sometimes is very critical.
This is true. What I see as important, and this is what I have again learned from people like late John Agilkousis, who was, I think, not only a mentor, not only a tycoon, not only a visionary, he was a good person. Mr. Angelikousis and any Mr. Angelikousis in other organizations with the same mindset and so on, set the lines. Said, guys, you take a decision that will not risk any lives. Finish. This is my company. You work here, you follow my rules. Then I let you manage it. Maybe very good, maybe a little bit worse, maybe excellent, but
This is the red
limit.
line.
This is
Red
the
line.
limit. We have other ship owners who called their masters when they were in Red Sea and attacked by missiles, and they were calling the master to not abandon the vessel. Their risk appetite was completely different. Of course, this was the character of their company. Should I work in a company like that? No, I would never work in a company like that because my risk appetite also does not match a company working like that. So I'm very happy to work, and I have worked also with companies where the risk appetite of the top decision maker, who is in the end of the day is the owner, who is not going to get involved in the nits and grits, now pick up the anchor or lower the anchor or the boat, or sets the bar. 0 liters at sea, finish, do whatever, I don't care. I don't want fatalities, finish. You take the decision, you analyze, that's why you're there, that's why you're paid very well, that's why you have support, that's why you have a team, you have everybody, you have lawyers, you have P&I, you have this, everything I give you to make decision on that, but this is not something I negotiate. When working in these companies, so if you see it from one, because the question was very specific, yes, it is centralized because these barriers are set by one person.
And I think, Panos, it should be.
It should be.
At the end of the day. At this level, depending on the decision.
Of course.
At this level or to the next level, it's very good to discuss options, but at the end of the day, it will be only one at certain levels that he or she has to take the decision.
So all thoughts are heard, but at the end of the day, one has to take the decision.
The critical
The
decision
critical-
to set, for example, it's like you have a prime minister to set a foreign policy.
Yes.
Are we going together with this or that? Somebody has to take a decision. It's not
Now that you mention
policies.
foreign policy,
Foreign policies.
For instance, okay.
I would like to ask you guys: do you watch during the day
The news.
the news,
All the
CNN?
time. Yes.
Because with all these geopolitics at the moment and all these things happening in parallel in our world every single day, I'm sure that all these events affect somehow your decisions.
Of course, definitely.
And your fleet, your people, perhaps.
People, of course.
So how do you manage that? I mean, do you have CNN in your office?
Yeah, not only. Petros, yes, for sure. I mean, it's not only today's, but it's the last 5 years, I would say. As we make a milestone in our days, we are discussing pro-COVID.
Correct. This makes the huge
After
difference.
COVID, because, it's the milestone of the century. I mean, so after COVID period, including COVID, of course, we have many, many disruptions globally. Conflicts, piracy, again. Now geopolitics and new agreements or potential agreements. I'm not commenting on that.
New friendships?
Sanctions,
Sanctions, everything.
tariffs. Yeah.
So it depends. So we have a lot of things new to cope with. So it's the environment. It's totally uncertain around. I say the environment again. We know about our targets, environmental targets, and the IMO, and we see that we have some postponements and uncertainty there. It's a lot of investments already done worldwide. But going back, yes, decision making is very, very complex and very, very difficult. And fortunately, this is affect the people all our people on board and ashore, because you have to deal with. I'm going back because I'm insisting on that. We have two major issues that we have to take into consideration. One thing is that with all these investments that we have on a global, but let's talk about the Greek shipping. We have a lot of projects and a lot of new vessels coming for the next couple of 3 years up to, and I don't know how we're going to run those vessels, seafarer-wise. This is one thing. On the other hand, we try to see and to start building the new generation.
That would be my next question, actually.
So all this creates a lot of, again, difficulties to the decision-making process, planning. You cannot. I mean, we used to say long-term plan, 5 years, medium-term plan, 3 years, short-term plan, one year. Does not exist anymore, those numbers. We are talking about short-term is 2 weeks.
True. Yeah.
How guys do you mentor your team or teams? And one more thing that I would like to ask you on top of the first question is, what is perhaps the only character trait that you should have as a shipping professional in the maritime industry? Otherwise, you will not survive. What is, if you would have to choose one character trait, what would be?
You had 2 questions here.
Yeah.
First,
you're pressing us. Okay. Can I take this one?
Sure.
Okay. Again, I will go back to the people that I have worked with and who have helped me to shape my mind. And one advice I have had from a common friend, Mr. Nick Fistes, was day one, when you take a position, teach your team and prepare your team to take over your position. So we have to be brave enough from day one. From day one to prepare our successors. People in every position of the ladder who are afraid to do that, they are doomed. It's not going to help. So we have to have the courage to prepare the next generation, as you said, through mentoring and giving responsibilities and empowerment and all these things. One word I will say, one word, because you asked for one word only, one trait.
One trait.
Very, very difficult.
Is it resilience? Is it
resilience? Come on, this is okay.
I'm using buzzwords. I mean, we are using this word for the last 10 years. Maybe.
Resilience is creating human robots.
Okay.
Come on, this is BS. Anyway, I will say for me it's very important. One word for me, and one trait is humility. People should be humble. People should remain humble. People should remain humble, and the leaders, the generals, the admirals, the politicians, the tycoons, the inventors who remained humble in what they did, they actually made a mark in our world, in our society. Doctors who made vaccines, and so they were humble. So in the same sense, we had in Greek shipping families like Karas, like Livanos, late John Angelikousis, very humble people. They were not bragging around and saying. So this transposes to the way they do things and reflects to on how the people who work within this organization also behave. So remaining, keeping humility and understanding where we come from and all the efforts. Also your company comes from a family and has continuation and has rules. I mean, don't overdo it there. I mean, this is our family here. This is our area.
True.
We have a small part of the town, we have the church there. These are there. These are the common anchoring points. Okay, it's nice to
This is
be
our
around there.
heritage.
Yeah. Eh?
This is our heritage.
This is our heritage, exactly. And so, yeah, this is what I would say, Petros. Humility and remaining humble, it is essential for being a true leader. Because the leader should not be known, should not be heard. This is something that the Chinese say. I don't know if you have heard Mr. One general, sometimes his name skipped my mind. He said that the leader is, a good leader is the one that is less heard of. Because he organizes things so well and things are run nice and smoothly.
Agree with Panos for sure. I believe that I'm going to reply to your first question. I mean, what you do with your teams, how you deal with. For me, is to first of all share the information.
Oh, important.
You have to share the information. I'm talking about the information that can be shared, of course, shared with everyone. To have all of us to have the knowledge of the same, to be on the same page. This is one thing. And then give responsibility, not overload in order to, play, like tennis. Okay? Give the responsibility.
And accountability.
Empowerment. This is very good.
Yes.
But,
and then
information. I like that, Petros.
And then we can discuss further in order to start, and to see how you can
exactly.
prepare
very correct,
the succession.
This
because
is so
you
correct.
can see that one person has different qualities to that sector. You have to guide him or her to that direction. Another is more to another direction. So it's good to understand. This is one thing. Because all of them, they have the same information. So, but they
process it differently.
Yeah. Exactly. So, regarding the second one, came to my mind, as you said, but also I would say honesty. Honesty. Because you posed a very difficult question. You said only one word. It's not possible. It's three or four actually, but not one. From my point of view, it's honesty as well. I mean, straightforward. And this is, again, I'm going back to the old days of the shipping that we heard, actually. None of us
Deals were done with a handshake.
Well, with handshake. And
it.
after that, one week, 1 month later, the contracts been signed. I mean, that was the miracle of Greek shipping, 50s, 60s. We shake hands, we give our word, that's it. And it's good to continue by that.
Like that.
Two last questions before we close. One question would be, over the last years, for the last 20 years, maybe more, the pool of talents for shipping companies was most probably, most of the times, their own pool of seafarers that they were coming ashore and they will start climbing the ladder and become assets of the company. In our days, where there is a shortage of people, as everybody admits, should the shipping companies look into other directions to find talents? Do you believe that would be possible?
100%.
Okay.
100%. It is amazing. It is amazing. The more we open our blinkers, like the horses, like they were doing like that, the more we open them, we see that the people...
Be careful of the microphone.
Second time or third time? Yeah. Well, what to do? They put it there. It's not my decision. Yeah, it is amazing. It is fascinating to see the colors and the enrichment and how they enrich a team. People from so many
with different backgrounds,
theoretically disassociated backgrounds, what they can bring in a team, in an organization, as long as they believe in what we do.
Stavros?
Agree. Again. Actually, we don't disagree. Not even on our point.
We wait for the last question about
maybe
about
what is
about energy.
Energy? No.
If we are isolated the hard skills that should be there. You need technical guys with technical background.
Knowledge. This is a vessel, yeah.
Yes, with technical background. Otherwise, not working like that. Or master knowledge for specific for master's level. And if we are translate this to the company, to the operations department, but we're talking about the hard skills. The most important thing is the soft skills, as you said. And if right now we realize what happened around us, I mean, it happens right now to our companies. Digitalization, on board and ashore. The capabilities that we have, if we take the advantage of those technologies, they can create huge results, positive results in data, generate data for the decision-making process. So, but you need people with different mindset. Why I'm saying that? The new generation, them, I think that they call it right now Gen Z, the Z generation.
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
Gen Z.
This is, they are so skillful with the applications and everything, starting, from the tablets and but if you translate that into business, it's something amazing.
Yeah. Problem solving.
Amazing.
Yeah.
That I don't think that people to my, at least, generation have this capabilities to understand and to run. So I think that this is one point that in the one second that we have to invest again, and this is something that we have to see closer if we want, because in our days the shipping company has so many new departments, performance department, analysis department, monitoring, real time, everything. So you don't need, but it is not needed from my point of view, a technical superintendent or marine superintendent to do their job, because I don't know if he or she will be so perform as a guy, a boy or a girl from this generation with this soft skill.
Different, yeah.
My last question, guys.
Yeah.
So we close our today episode. You know what is the question that I'm always asking you about Panathinaikos. But I will not ask you today that one. I always ask him if
Mrs. Maria is going to buy Panathinaikos,
because that was the.
So far, I have denied all the
She always deny.
They go watch.
Yes. So anyway, I will ask you if you had to summarize our title for today, leadership from sea to boardroom, in one phrase. What would you say?
In one phrase again, eh?
In one phrase. It could be a phrase of 5 lines.
5 lines.
With comments.
Self-control, courage, open to uncomfortable truth. This is something I want to pinpoint at the end. Even the highest and the most successful leaders, they had passed through phases where people who flatter them might make them to make wrong decisions. So it is very, very difficult, and it takes huge discipline by the people who are in these positions to realize that sometimes the information arriving is filtered. Sometimes the information arrived is there to make them, to praise them. And they should always be open to uncomfortable and undesirable and painful truth. The true leader is there to hear also the bad news, not only praising and how well he or she is doing. So this is something that I have seen in many organizations happening, but I have seen also very courageous people realizing that, oops, I'm misguided. I must take the sword and cut this and continue straight and move on.
Stavros?
I would say ready to be to feel stressful many times during the day, during the night,
During the night.
and during the night as well. Very strong stomach to be able to cope with the difficulties.
Sustainability.
Respect, and open to learn every day. And this is for all of us. If we stop learning every day, every week, we have something new. So we have to be ready to understand. So this is applied to all of us. So I finish from the sea. I'm coming to the office. I know everything. No, you don't. It's another world there. But I was the head of the engine room. I was the master, and everyone used to do what I said. No, it's not working like that. And in order to close, very, very important point for me is don't forget from where you start.
Where you come from. Yeah.
From where you're coming from. Because this will be the characteristic on how you will deal with your colleagues and how you deal and you're mentoring the next generation and so on and so forth.
Yeah, that's what they say. I mean, give somebody authority to see who he really is or she.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Thank you very much,
Thank you.
guys.
Thank you.
It was
Very
a pleasure
interesting,
having you here. I think it's time to finish and close because my friends will break everything here with the tension.
Every time we have so exciting discussions that I tend to.
And thank you again for being here. And dear friends, thank you for watching us again. And be prepared for the next episode. Next
Thank you.
month. Thank you.
Brother. Thank you.